Hello everyone, this is Musab Khan back again with another video. So today we are going to talk about how to hack web servers and how can we attack on open ports. For this purpose we are going to use a Metasploitable 2 machine, which is a Linux based operating system. We are not going to attack any live server. We are going to use Metasploitable 2, which is designed as a vulnerable machine where we can practice our hacking skills in a legal or a safe environment. So let's move to the video. What we are going to learn in this video, we are going to see the strategy, what strategy you should adopt before attacking a web server, and what are the enumeration, how can we perform enumeration, how can we use payloads to exploit the vulnerability, what are the exploits, and how can we exploit the existing vulnerability and the misconfiguration. You might be amazed. This is possible that you listen the misconfiguration as a vulnerability first time, and I'll tell you what is this and how can we exploit this one. Let's move to the next slide. Strategy I'll tell you, and the enumeration, what port we are going to use. In this video we are going to use the most common ports, which is the port 22 FFH secure shell, port 139 which is the Samba service, and port 21 FTP which is the most common, and the port 3306 MySQL. And there might be a question from your side that why I mentioned the misconfiguration as the 3306 MySQL. So I'll let you know later in a video why I mentioned the 3306 as a misconfiguration. Let's move to the video. Let me just minimize this. So for this purpose we need a target IP. I'm using the Metasploitable 2 machine. As you can see, we are using Metasploitable 2. So what we need a target IP address. Let's get the IP. So the target IP address is 192.168.0.113. let's open the attacker machine, which is the Linux, Kali Linux basically. Let's just enter the password. Let minimize this one. So what we are going to do, we are going to adopt the strategy. What strategy you should adopt before attacking any application? What you need to do is to scan the application. The purpose to scan the application or scan the target IP to gather information. The more information you gather, the more effective passwords you can generate. So in the end, the more efficient or effectively you can launch your attack in a good manner. So what we are going to use, ZenMap to gather information. ZenMap is a choice for beginners, not professionals. Professionals use Nmap, or even the intermediate level hackers or penetration testers or pen testers love to use command line interface application. They do not spend time to they don't like to use graphical interface application like ZenMap and other tools like Xhydra. So let's enter the target IP 192.168.0.113 and hit enter. You can perform the same, you can copy and paste this in terminal and get the same output. This is for the, and this is the Nmap command. Now let this complete, and it will it will give us result, what ports are open, what services are running, and what service version are running on the specific port. So we will get some basic information. These are the aggressive scan called, just because we use the -a script, which will use a script to identify the vulnerability and scan something. Okay, this is complete. Now as you can see here, it gives us the information that our target system is of a Linux operating system. So we do not need to perform some Windows attacks on this target system. This scan gives us an idea that we are going to attack on the Linux system. So the attacks must be okay. As you can see, let me move to this one, port 21. We are going to attack this one. Port 21, which is the FTP. Most of you might familiar with this one, and the purpose to scan the target is to gather information. The information type is FTP service, which is running on port 21, and the version is VSFTPT. Now what we need to do, we need to search for the exploits, if any exploits are available. Let's just paste and go. Okay, as you can see, we get this on the top of the page, the first link. There is an exploit available for this version, and before going exploit this one. Let me show you. As you can see, FTP NN, anonymous FTP login allowed. And what does it mean? We can log in as a FTP server by providing anonymous credentials. Let me show you. Let's copy the anonymous, open the terminal, type FTP and the target IP 192.168.0.113 and hit enter. Now as you can see here, FTP and an anonymous FTP login allowed. Just paste the anonymous as a user and paste password as well. 230 login successful. So we have successfully logged into the. Okay, here comes the directory listing. I'm not going to show you the commands of FTP. Just go and figure it out yourself. Just exit this one. I'm just showing you how necessary to gather information. So this is it. Now we are going to exploit the vulnerability, and then we'll move to the SSH vulnerability or enumeration. Let's move to the exploit, copy and run the MSF console. It might take time to open the MSF console. I will recommend you to read this Metasploitable 2 exploitability guide, which gives you an amazing idea how can you use the exploit and how can you exploit the vulnerabilities. There's a list of the exploits available in the Metasploitable 2, the open services ports, and all of these open ports have some vulnerabilities exist. So you can try to exploit them in a legal environment and can get idea by this Metasploitable 2 machine, which is an amazing Unix based port 512, 513, 514, which is the R services. If you have no idea what R services, I recommend you go and read out this what is R services, which might be possible. It is a remote services. Not all the pen testers knows everything about this, about the ports, and when they find something which is which they don't know, they just Google it to get to know about them. First they get the information about the target, then they Google it, and then they get the information what are the service, the service they provide, and why the target use that service, and then they launch their attack. Let's search for the what we copy this. We copied this module, which is exploit available. Use and hit the. Now we are going to check the options. What options are available? Set R host 192.168.0.113, and you can simply exploit this vulnerability by this. If you use the same thing in a WAN, wide area network, to attack someone web application not in a within a network, so you need to specify their IP and the reverse port. Let's ID. As you can see, we can execute our command. Let's search for the pwd. Okay, this is working. Uname -a. Now finally, as you can see, we can successfully execute our commands. And once a hacker or an attacker can get access of any services, then what he does, he try to escalate the privileges. It might be possible. Who am I? Root. Root is the most privileged user. Let's just clear this one. Okay, back to the terminal. Fine. Now we are going to use SSH service. Now we are going to perform enumeration. Port 22 SSH secure shell. Most of the cases SSH has root user privileges. So now we are trying to exploit or enumerate the SSH service. SSH enumeration. Let's search Rapid7 username enumeration. Anything you find, just go and search for this. As you can see, you get the module for the enumeration. Now use and hit enter. Show options. Okay, I hope you can see them. Let me write this window. Set rhost 192.168.0.113. We have specify the target address, which is a 192.168.0.113. Now specify the user file you want to enumerate, which is the most important thing. User file, let me first put this one, desktop hack web servers. Okay, this is it. Let me show you the options. Okay, when I was a beginner, I was learning this and I was very confused when people and when the YouTubers use the any text file which contains the username, and they try to exploit this and they get their username and password easily. Trust me, this is not the case. It takes a lot of time. Sometimes it takes 3 to 4 hours, 3 to 6 hours. Sometimes it takes days to enumerate, or when you come to the brute force, it takes a lot of time. So for this purpose, we just give you an idea how can you use this. There is a lot of other dictionaries available, so which can be used to enumerate the services. Let me clear one thing. Where is the... Okay, now I think we are good to go. Let's clear this. Show options. Okay, just run. Okay, as you can see, we have successfully enumerated the SSH, which is a root MSF admin service. These are the usernames available, users. So now we have done our half of the work by enumerating the username. Now what we require to exploit this vulnerability, exploit this one, we need a password as well. So now what we are going to do, use auxiliary scanner SSH login. Now we are going to brute force the SSH service. Okay, show options. Now we are going to brute force the SSH login. For this purpose, when you are going to brute force anything, it is recommended first gather information about the target, not just the Nmap scan. This one is a good idea. You can use this information to find the exploits, but might be possible you will not get the desired result as always. When you try to exploit something, when you try to attack on any web application or web server, the information gathering is the first step of hacking. Spend almost 80% of your time to gather information. The more information you gather, the more effective attack you can launch. Like if you know the person who is whom you're going to attack, then it would be good if you know the username, if you know his name, email, contact number, nickname, and what he loves to do, and there's a lot of other things. Just information gathering is just very important. Now we are just going to use user file. Let me copy this one. Let me, where's the hack web servers? So we are going this. So we have successfully get the... I mostly don't use the notepads like this one. I just use Nano or Vim. They are just amazing. Just copy root MSF admin service, MSF admin. Sorry, this is okay. Root MSF admin service and user. We know that these users are available and exist. So what we are going to do, we are going to save this in our and username. Save. Now we will use this. Okay, set user file, which exists in the desktop hack web servers, and the username. Set user password file. this is important. User password file, which is the password file, as you can see here, which is the password file you need to specify. Let's specify the password file. Root desktop, desktop and the ssh.txt. Now hit, let me set verbose true. What it does, it will give you the output what is happening behind. Let's run the, okay, oh, we did not specify the R host. Set R host 192.168.0.113. just hit enter. If we find the okay, we have successfully get the correct credential, so we can use this to log into the SSH server. Just copy this one, MSF admin. I'm just going to copy MSF admin or MSF admin, the both username SSH MSF and admin @192.168.0.113. You must need to specify the username. If you don't know the username, then you cannot log into the SSH server. Let me just stop this one, or we should, okay, as you can see, we have successfully find the another one, service. Just let it be. Let's try to log in. As you can see, we have successfully first we enumerate the SSH username, and now we are trying to log into the SSH server. But the password we get by the brute force method is MSF admin. Just paste this one and hit enter. As you can see, we have successfully logged into the Metasploitable machine. Just clear the, oh sorry, I just made a mistake. Now we cannot execute all of the commands. Let's see, who am I? MSF admin. Okay, let's see the machine. Okay, this one is running. Okay, cat etc password. As you can see, we can execute most of the command, but not all. We cannot execute the clear command. Okay, just clear the terminal, as we have successfully seen this one. As you can see, the user and this service and two more, I think, MSF. As we have successfully get the 3 username and passwords by the brute force method. Okay, this is it. I think this is good enough to give you an idea how can you use these method to exploit or to gain access of SSH server and get back to the terminal, main terminal. Clear the terminal. And now what we are going to do, we have successfully exploited the port 21 and the port port 22 SSH service. Now we are going to exploit the port which is 139, which is Samba service. Let's search for the Samba exploits. Just go and hit the, no, this one is not the, let's port 139 exploit, sorry, my mistake, port 139 exploit. You will get a lot of, okay, let me check if you find something. Just go and search for it and you will definitely get some idea what you need to do. Okay, I don't know why this is not, this is very slow. Just you need to wait, and I'm sorry for this one. Just go and read the, I recommend you, if you want to do something, just go and read books. Book is good enough to give you an idea. The more books you read, the more. Okay, SMB version exploits. Okay, here you can see we have successfully get the, okay, here you can see These are the user map script. What is that user map? SMB service. Let me just copy and paste this one. As you can see, we are going to exploit the vulnerability multi. We are going to exploit the Samba service, and this is the vulnerability. Hit enter. Show options. Set our host. Which is 192.168.0.113. Not all the vulnerabilities are directly exploitable. Sometimes you need to send payloads to exploit the vulnerability. Let me show you the payloads. Show payloads. For this purpose, there is a lot of payloads in different languages. As you can see, the netcat command, or you can use the Perl, and you can use whatever you like the most. The Python, PHP SSL, Perl, OpenSSL. I just did not connect. We are going to use this one. And why we are going to use the reverse netcat? Reverse connection is just an amazing thing, just because if we are going to attack a web application or a web server which has a firewall, in most of the cases, if a web application has a firewall, then it will definitely discard your connection from outside, from the outsource. And the reverse connection, what it does, it gets you the it let the target machine connects to you. You are not going to connect them. The target machine is going to connect back to you on your specified port. So set payload, hit enter. Okay, just clear the screen, show options, and just exploit. What it does, okay, we did not specify the L host, listening host. Search for it. We can search for the, so this is our listening host. This is my own IP address. Set L host, hit enter. Now try to exploit the vulnerability. As you can see, let's see if it exploits the vulnerability or not. Just wait for it. If it gets exploit the vulnerability, you will get the output here. Just wait for it. If we are able to exploit the vulnerability, now let's move to this one. If is there available any Samba vulnerability? I don't know why this is, it takes a lot of time. No. Options, no, this is not working. Okay, I think this is working. Okay, this I just forgot this one, that the netcat command does not give you shows you that you get the connection. This is the normal behavior of netcat. We have successfully get the reverse connection. I just forgot this one, so I just apologize for this. And who am I? As you can see, we have successfully exploited the Samba service, SMB service, which is a server message block, and gain the root access. So let's clear the terminal and exit the session. Okay, Control C, hit Control C to abort the session, and yes, we want to abort the session. Just clear the terminal. And what is the misconfiguration? Last one, let me show you the slides. What we are going to see, the misconfiguration port 3306 and the MySQL one. What is this misconfiguration? The best example of misconfiguration is default passwords. Most of the people don't change their default password. I don't know why they do. This might be possible they are not aware of the attack, misconfiguration attack. Let me show you the Metasploitable 2 guide, which has an amazing description of this. Let's just move to the down. As you can see, weak passwords. In additional to the more blatant backdoors and misconfiguration, Metasploitable 2 has terrible password security for both system and database server accounts. And the primary administrator user, MSF admin, has a password matching the username. MSF admin virtual machine has a default username with MSF admin, as the password is MSF admin. So we are not we are going to launch this attack on the port 3306. So now let's back to the terminal, clear the use auxiliary and sorry, okay, scanner, MySQL, and we're going to brute force this service. Clear. Show options. Let me just write this one. Now we are going to specify the file. Set user file, and where it exists, root, desktop, hack web servers, and the password SSH, which contains a common passwords SSH. Now what we are going to do, we are going to use a username as password. We are not going to specify the different file, we are going to use the same file. Let me show you. Set pass file, which is root, desktop, and the blank file. And blank file is actually a blank file, not by just name. As you can see, blank file. This file contains nothing. This file contains nothing. So what we are going to do, we are going to use the feature user as pass. We are going to enable this one. Set user as pass true. And what is going to do, when it try to get the password from the blank file, and it will get nothing because the file is blank, then it will use the username as password. Oh, let me set the rhost 192.168.0.113. now let's show show options. User pass file, username. You can specify the user pass file, which is mean a file contains users and password separated by space. Let me show you what does it mean. Let me just check default passwords, and I'll show you where can you get the default password list. If you are using Kali Linux, then you can simply type the apt get install sec list. If you are not familiar, then I'll show you apt get install sec list. Sec list is a security list. Security researchers find share their findings in sense of data breaches, usernames they find by sec list Kali Linux. You can simply go through this page and download this one, or you can search for the sec list and get this one from the GitHub repository. User share sec list. Sec list has the discovery, fuzzing, IOC passwords, pattern matching passwords, contain the default credentials in most of the services. As you can see, DNS infrastructure, SNMP, web contents, and there's a lot of things. You can even brute force the for the hidden files. And this one is amazing. I hope you like it if you use them. And let's search for the passwords, and then you go for the common credentials, default credentials. Okay, as you can see, DB2 default password, FTP default passwords, MS SQL, Microsoft SQL service, MySQL, Oracle, Postgres, and they are just amazing. Just minimize this one, and which is sec list. Let's run this. Okay, we get nothing. I don't think we have something. MSF admin. Okay, we are not get anything from this. We did not get anything from this one. What we are going to do, we are going to just read this. The primary identification user and MSF admin has a password matching the username. By discovering the list of user on the system, either by using another flaw to capture the password file or by enumerating the user IDs via Samba. A brute force attack can be used to quickly access multiple user accounts. At a minimum, the following weak systems accounts are configured on the system. Okay, how can we exploit the M3306? Let's search for this one. MSF exploit, Metasploitable to MySQL exploit. Let's see if we find something. MySQL brute force attack. Every time you find something which you have no idea, just go and find Just go and search, and you will definitely find something which is interesting, and it will enhance your knowledge. Be the elite class hacker. The elite class hackers is the most knowledgeable hackers. I don't know why this is not working. Let's search for the MySQL credentials. If we find anything by using the in most of the cases, if a person is using some other services, like let's search for this. There is a complete tutorial how can you install this and how can you run this, how can you attack this, and the virtual machine, attacker machine, and I'm not going to show you this one, but let's see what password he used. MSF admin and MSF admin. Okay, he using the root as username and the password is admin. So we are going to change the set user file as root desktop hack web servers SSH and run. Okay, we get nothing. This time we get nothing as well. Now what we are trying to do, now we will try and look for the mistake, and the username we have is root and the password is MSF admin. Okay, so the mistake is, let me show you the mistake what I did while performing the brute force attack. I just read the some tutorials, some blogs, and now we get an idea that the username is root. Let's assume that the username is root and the root username exists in a dictionary. As you can see, the root exists in a dictionary. And the password, it might be possible, as you know, we are using Metasploitable 2 machine, though MSF admin is the default password or username of the Metasploitable 2 machine, so we can use that username as by the basic knowledge of this. Let's try to user. Okay, as you can see, we have specified the SSH. Now we are not going to use the blank file. Where is the blank file? Okay, we are not going to use the blank file. Set pass is equals to file. Let's provide the path root desktop hack web servers. We are going to use the same SSH text txt. And why we are using it? Because this one is going to brute force everything. The most possible username we have now, this is going to brute force every username with the combination of these passwords and try to exploit this if we are able to get the correct credentials or not. User as pass false. Hit enter, clear and run. If we run this one, okay, let this one just complete the brute force method. This is just going too fast, I think. As you can see, let's move to the top. Okay, as you can see, we have successfully gained the password is nothing. Let's check if we have the password. Okay, as you can see, there is nothing, the blank text. You just now can assume how it can be. This time you get nothing. To log into the system or to log into the MySQL service, you do not require a password, you just require a username. That's the reason I didn't tell you at the very first. So this might be the case. The username is root and the password is just blank. So let's move to the next one. Back. Use auxiliary admin. Okay, and let's search scanner MySQL login, show options. Now we know the password. Set username as root, set password as nothing. Hit enter. Okay, set password is okay. Show Let me clear this one. Just a minute, my mistake. Set password. Okay, let's try. Okay, set user file is, just hit enter. Set, this is the first time I'm using this. The double quotes as a blank file. I did not even try before. Set pass file is enter, and I try to run this. Okay, as you can see, we have successfully found the credentials. In the directory. Okay, fill buff. I don't know what is this error 192.168.0.113 ft root. Let's search for it. I'm not going to show you directly how to exploit this one. You can exploit yourself. I'm just showing you how can you search for the vulnerability and how much this is useful. MySQL 3306 login Metasploit. Metasploit is an amazing tool. That's the reason I'm showing you. Or that is an amazing page comes. If you want to read the Metasploit, how can you where can you learn the Metasploit without spending a lot of time on the tutorial? I recommend you go through this page. Okay, let this one render completely and wait for it. Okay, this one is an amazing page and you will learn a lot. And okay, I just love this page. I mostly come here when I just forgot the commands and just stuck in something between the Metasploit and the SQL and some other services. Okay, this is stuck. Let this I don't know why this is okay, this is running. As you can see, we just perform this method and get the successful username and the password. MySQL version, we are not going to detect the version, or you can even find this scanner to perform the get the MySQL version. We do not need to get this one. Okay, how can we? Let's let me search vulnerability information gathering, vulnerability SMB login. We are not going to check this one. Okay, just close this and search for okay hacking article. They provide a very good article, so read this one too. Let's close this one just because we are just on the and there are 1 or 2 ports more I am gonna show you, which is the bonus. I did not mention that ports in my PowerPoint slides. As you can see, MySQL version, first he gathers some information regarding the port or service, MySQL service, and the version is, and he get the service version MySQL 5.5.5.7. okay, he get the service version, and then he brute force the MySQL with the user password list and the password list, and he get the login credentials successfully, root to and the MySQL information, as you can see. So now let's try this one. Just paste and hit enter. Show options. Set username is root, set password is blank, set our host 192.168.0.113, which is our target IP, clear, and just run. Sending statement. Okay, what we get, let's see. So let's set SQL show databases. So we can specify the set SQL. We can execute an SQL queries with help of this one, show databases, and just run. As you can see, we have successfully get that database, which is information schema and DBWA, Metasploit, MySQL, DBWA. Let me show you why this is showing the DBWA, because Metasploitable 2 is providing it act like a web server and providing you vulnerable machines or vulnerable web application where you can perform your hacking skills in a very safe environment, and the DBWA is one of them. 192.168.0.113 and enter. Let's see what we find Metasploitable 2. As you can see, here is the DBWA, the reason why the database is available of DBWA. Let's try to look more. Use auxiliary. Let's see if we find something else or something more. Let's extracting MySQL schema information. Let's just copy and paste this one, just because we cannot remember all the commands, sometimes we forgot, so we use Google. Let's show options, set username root, hit enter, set password, just leave it blank, set rhost 192.168.0.113, and I think we are good to go. Let's clear the terminal and show options. Okay, we are. Let's exploit this one. Let's see what we get. I just did not try. Let's see what it's going to show us. These are the expected result. As you can see here, we will get the columns or table names. Okay, we get something. Oh yes, successfully. I'm just happy to see this one. Okay, I just wanted to give you a trick or some tips. If you want to perform this SQL brute force method, I will recommend you to watch my let me show you, youtube.com/Musaf Khan. This one is my channel. You can follow the source code disclosure vulnerability. I just found the database credential in that website, and I just confirmed this one. As you can see, source code disclosure vulnerability for educational purpose. You will find the database credentials, and the port is also open, so you can try to brute force that, or you can just log into the MySQL service by providing the correct credentials, or the credentials you can get from this website or its tutorial. This one is a good tutorial. Just let me close this one. And this is the last port we are going to attack, which is the R service. R service means remote services. Let's search the port number. Okay, R login. I'm just tired right now. I'm not going to describe you a lot. Just copy this R login, or you can just get back to this R login, remote login. -L provide the let's suppose I'm just trying to log into the 192.168.0.113. -L means we need a username to connect with this target machine. Can we connect with the I just provide some anything. Let's just copy. We are not able to connect to the remote services. Metasploitable login. No, we are not able to connect to this service. Let's exit this one. I just press the Ctrl+C to abort the session. Clear the terminal. R login. For this purpose, what we need, we must have a username to log into the remote services, to connect to the remote services. As we know, in this case we have a username is root, and the target machine is 192.168.0.113. hit enter. Okay, so we have successfully gained the Metasploitable 2 machine access. As you can see, can we run the command? Okay, uname -a. We can successfully run the command cd. Okay, let's move to the desktop directory. Let's try to know who am I. This is working. The clear command is not working as well like before. Let's cancel this one. I think this is enough, and if you find value in this video, please leave a comment. And if you wanted to ask for me or demand for a specific video you wanted to learn, just let me know in the comment section, and I will definitely record a video for you. Thank you guys. We'll see you guys in next video. Allah Hafiz.